So a little while ago, I did a video on fragrances that are safe for work, fragrances that are light enough that you can get away with in a no fragrance environment. And today I'm going to be sharing a few fragrances that are absolutely not safe for work. So not just in an environment where you're not allowed to wear fragrances, but a lot of workplaces allow you to wear fragrance within reason, right? Like we can't go crazy and overspray. We have to be reasonable with our sprayage. So if you're lucky enough to work in a place that is fine with fragrances, these are ones that you should still avoid. Some of these are just too sexy, they're just too strong, they can be quite polarizing, and they're best avoided in the workplace, especially in interviews. I personally don't recommend wearing a fragrance to an interview, but these ones should be avoided in the workplace at all costs, in my opinion. And I will also give you guys some alternatives that have some similar scent profiles, some similarities, but are a little bit gentler on the nose that you could probably get away with in that workplace instead of the ones that I'm telling you guys not to wear. So if that sounds interesting to you, keep on watching. If you're new here, my name is Yana. This is The Scented. We do all the fragrance things. If that's a passion of yours, hit that big red button, hit the little bell, stay tuned for any new videos coming up. We'll do all the fun fragrance things together, and here we go. So of course, we're gonna start with Alien. I'm not gonna get too elaborate into the scent descriptions, but I will tell you guys the dominant notes and why these are not workplace appropriate. Alien is a very heady jasmine. It is known to be one of the most polarizing fragrances. It is one that I personally love, but I would avoid this in the workplace. It is quite strong. It does fill a room. A lot of these are very strong fragrances that will fill a room, and I advise you guys not to wear such fragrances to work. Alien's one of them. I would opt for one of the lighter Alien flankers like Alien Eau Extraordinaire. I have Alien Eau Sublime, but I'm not showing it because I think it's discontinued and hard to find. But Alien Eau Extraordinaire, very affordable, a little bit more of a citrusy, light, easy on the nose Alien. If you want to get bougie, there is Memo Paris Flamme, which I recently talked about in my fragrances that you need to check out if you love Mugler's Alien. So I'll link that up here for you guys. Flamme is gorgeous. I will leave it at that. This one, not safe for work. In fact, most of Mugler's creations are not safe for work. You will see many more of them in this video. Next up, we have Gucci Rush that I adore. I had been wearing this all summer long. It's very sexy. It's a little skanky. This one does smell like a club, going out, like being very bold, and it's not workplace appropriate, especially if you overspray it, which I personally do like to do. The alternative that I would recommend is Goutal's Tenue de Soirée. This one is quite similar in that sweetness, but it's a little bit more earthy as well. It's a lot closer to the skin. It doesn't project as much. It is a very professional smelling fragrance. There's a little bit of leather in here, patchouli. There's a caramel note, which does add to that nice sweetness. Really unique, beautiful, effortlessly elegant fragrance that does remind you a little bit of Gucci Rush, especially in the opening. So this would be my recommended alternative for the workplace. The next one kind of goes without saying. Mugler, Angel, chocolate, patchouli, all this like fruit mixture, very bold, very sweet, very also polarizing. I think it's the patchouli really that makes it quite pungent and very off-putting to some people. I would recommend Il Profumo's Chocolat. This one is like Angel without that patchouli. It doesn't have that dirty, earthy smell. This one actually just smells quite chocolatey, a little bit powdery, more subdued, very elegant as well. Definitely appropriate for the workplace. Next up, Womanity. Another Mugler, surprise, surprise. Yes, this one is an aquatic scent, but fish, fig, you know, that's sort of not the freshest aquatic scent. Another polarizing fragrance from Mugler. Personally, I really don't like it. I have a friend who loves it, but if you really want to rock like a salty aquatic to work, I would recommend Hermès Eau de Merveille Bleu. This one also has this nice salty aquatic vibe, very fresh, very unique, but it doesn't have that fishiness that comes from the caviar note. In Womanity, this one is a lot easier wearing, a lot friendlier, less polarizing, appropriate for a workplace that allows fragrance. Next up, big no-no. Terracotta Le Parfum. This is a really heady, like white floral, very tropical smelling, very intense. I would not recommend this one for the workplace. I would not wear it myself to the workplace. It's not for everyone. People talk about this like it's this like easy wearing suntan lotion scent. It is not. The one I would recommend instead is the Narciso Ombre. It's that classic Narciso, soft musk, really elegant, but with those tropical white florals. So it's still a little bit reminiscent of Terracotta Le Parfum, but it's a lot more gentler, a lot more toned down, and more appropriate for a professional space. So that is the alternative for Terracotta Le Parfum. The next one is a really strong spice bomb, but not spice bomb like Victor and Rolf. Like this is a spice bomb. Very clove heavy, very, very intense, huge trail, huge projection, like monster perfume. Like this is the elephant in the room perfume, and it's appropriately named Kenzo Jungle Elephant. Not appropriate for the workplace. Very good fragrance, very unique, but very spicy, very strong, way, 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 way too powerful. So I would recommend, if you want that spicy, warm feel, I would recommend L'Ombre de Merveille from Hermes. This one's a lot softer, ambery, warm. You still get a little bit of that clovey type of spice with orange. It's a very cozy scent, very classy, and not as loud. So I think if you do enjoy this, you will definitely enjoy this as well, and it's a lot more workplace appropriate. Then we have Olympea. Olympea is a very sexy fragrance, salty caramel type of vibe. As well, I would recommend the Narciso Ombre that I showed you guys. This one would be a work appropriate replacement for this, unless you work at a strip club. Then you stick to this, which nothing wrong with that. You fragrance yourself appropriately for your workplace. I'm thinking generally more of like an office space where fragrances are allowed, but you gauge it based on your workplace. If you're allowed more risque fragrances, then absolutely Olympea is top notch. Another one I would avoid in a general kind of boring workplace environment would be Dolce & Gabbana The One for women. I have the EDT. The EDP is even more sweet, even more heavy. This is a very, very sweet lily scent. It does have a little bit of like a shampoo-y vibe to it, but it's very strong, very, very like sweet, heavy lily. I don't have an alternative for this one, but I would still recommend to avoid this one. It's just too sweet. Lily isn't for everyone, so don't wear this to work. Then we have a few rose ouds to avoid, and I have basically just one replacement for all. I'll explain why. I have one of my favorites of all time, Oud Satin Mood, the 007 Sexy Femme Fatale fragrance. I love this. This is bougie AF. This is like, nothing smells quite like it, but not for work. Maybe a corporate event, yes. For the everyday workplace, nay. Same goes for Bewitching Yasmin from Penhaligon's. This is a little bit of a sharper oud. It has vanilla as well, jasmine, coffee. The coffee I can almost not smell at all. It's mostly a vanilla and oud with like a little bit of a floral background. It's quite strong, not for everyone. This is Oud Bouquet from Lancôme. Again, very sweet, sweet, sweet rose oud. The oud is a little bit sharp for me. Not my favorite, quite strong. Lovely fragrance, but not for me. So for those three oud fragrances, I would really just recommend going with Jo Malone Velvet Rose and Oud. Again, because it's a little bit softer, a little bit more feminine, powdery, and lighter. This is not as heady as all the other ones that I just showed you. This one stays a little bit closer to the skin. It lasts longer when you spray it on clothing, but it's a little bit less oud, a little bit more rose. It's sweeter. It's jammy, it's beautiful. So this one I would say, of all rose ouds that I'm familiar with, would be probably the safest for the workplace because it's a softer projector. Couple honorable mentions, Cacharel Lulu. It is very strong, very floral, very, very intense. That's the one that comes in the blue bottle. I have it up on the screen. That one, if you do have it, please kindly do not wear this to work. It is intense, not for everyone. The other honorable mention would be Dior Poison, just the original Poison. Also very, very heady. I feel like if you like Lulu, you would probably like Dior Poison. Those two, not great workplace scents, just saying. So there you have my entire list of fragrances that are not safe for work. I'm sure there are countless more that are not recommended for the workplace, but these are just the ones that are like really forceful, strong, sweet, maybe too sexy for various reasons. They're just NSFW. I know there are a couple of you that like your hands are itching, your fingers are itching to just like hit that keyboard and say, oh, just wear whatever you want, everybody do you, blah, 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 blah. Sure, but you guys are in my video now. You're watching my show. These are my recommendations. If you do happen to wear any of these fragrances to work and you love them so very much, please just go easy on the trigger and I'm sure you'll be fine. Please give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Comment down below with a fragrance that you guys think is not safe for work. And that's it for today. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.